All right, let's get into it. Today, we're going to decode the absolutely wild, confusing, and, let's be honest, kind of hilarious language of modern love. Consider this your official survival guide to the digital dating jungle.
Remember when it was all so simple, like boyfriend or girlfriend? And that was it. That was pretty much all you needed to know, right?
Yeah, those days are long gone. Welcome to the era of the totally undefined, where the most popular label is, you guessed it, no label at all.
Seriously, the old rulebook has been completely torn up. We've traded in mixtapes for shared Spotify playlists. And love letters? They've become those three little typing dots that just hang there forever. We've literally gone from clear titles to a collection of, well, situations.
Look, to survive out there, you've got to know the lingo. So, let's kick things off with the disappearing acts. This is your rapid-fire glossary for modern heartbreak. First up, the classic, ghosting, the original vanishing act. You know how it goes. The conversation is great, you're maybe even planning a date, and then, poof, total silence. It feels like they were abducted by aliens, but nope, it's usually just a deep-seated fear of having a slightly awkward conversation.
And hey, if you've ever been left staring at a silent screen wondering what happened, you are so not alone. According to a Hinge survey, more than half of us have been on the receiving end of this. It's basically the new normal, which is wild.
But wait, it gets weirder. There's the bizarre sequel to ghosting called orbiting. This is when they don't want to talk to you, oh no, but they definitely want you to know they're watching you. Liking your posts, watching every single one of your stories. It's this creepy, passive-aggressive digital hover, like a satellite you just can't shut down. And just when you've moved on, just when you think it's safe, the ghost returns from the dead. Yep, that's zombieing. You get that totally baffling, hey, what's up text months later, like nothing ever happened. No apology, no explanation. It is quite literally the Walking Dead of romance. And this happens way more than you'd think. Tinder says about 1 in 3 of its users have been zombied. But here's the real kicker. They often just end up getting ghosted all over again by the exact same zombie. And finally, we have breadcrumbing, the slow burn heartbreak. A random thinking of you text here, a heart emoji on a 3-week-old photo there. Just enough little crumbs to keep you hoping, but never ever enough for a full meal. You're just following a trail that leads to absolutely nowhere. Okay, but it's not always about people vanishing into thin air. Sometimes the real head-scratcher is in the in-between. Let's try to decode those fuzzy gray areas where modern relationships tend to live and, yeah, sometimes die.
Ah, yes, the 3 little words that haunt the modern dater. It's the ultimate test, the one question that can either define everything or just end it all right there on the spot.
So what's the most common answer? A situationship. It's that zone of comfortable confusion. You've got inside jokes, you share playlists, but you do not have a title. And sure, it can feel liberating at first, but more often than not, it just leaves you feeling completely adrift. Now, let's flip this script to the complete opposite of all that ambiguity. Love bombing. We're not talking about a simple crush here. This is a full-on tidal wave of affection. Non-stop compliments, maybe gifts, this firework-level intensity. It feels like you're literally living in a fairy tale movie. But here's the thing. The timeline is absolutely brutal. Week 1, it's a rom-com. By week 3, those fireworks are fizzling out. And by week 4, you're left just sitting there wondering if any of it was real or if you were just a character in someone else's validation fantasy. And this kind of brings us to the darker side of the digital world, where the line between playful and actually manipulative can get really, really blurry. Let's talk about digital gaslighting. Think of it like a funhouse mirror for your reality. They'll swear up and down a conversation never happened, maybe even delete the chats to prove it, making you doubt your own memory, your own perception. And of course, there's catfishing. But listen, this is not your 2010 catfishing. We're talking about AI-generated profiles and deepfake personas so convincing that even Interpol is raising alarms. They found that about 1 in 10 online romances now show signs of deepfake involvement. Scary stuff. So why? Why do we put up with all of this? The love bombs, the ghosts, the AI deepfakes. Are we just allergic to commitment? Well, the answer might have less to do with our hearts and a whole lot more to do with our brains. We are living in a dopamine economy. Every single match, every notification is a tiny chemical reward for your brain. It's basically training us to crave that instant gratification of a new swipe over the slow, steady work of building a real connection. And the words themselves play a huge role. There's this linguistic theory that the words we use actually shape our reality. So by creating and normalizing terms like ghosting or situationship, we're not just describing a behavior, we're making it feel like an acceptable, even expected part of the whole dating landscape.
So after all that, the chaos, the confusion, the zombie X's, it is so easy to just throw your hands up and decide that love is just broken. But is it?
You know, the researcher Brené Brown reminds us of a really fundamental truth. Connection is why we're here. Underneath all the swipes and the filters and the digital drama, we're all just looking for a genuine human bond.
So maybe the takeaway isn't that love is broken. Maybe with all these new signals and crossed wires, it's just buffering, trying to find its signal in a crowded, chaotic new world.
Here's the bottom line. It is messy out there, but it's also deeply human. So as you navigate it all, stay curious, stay kind, and for your own sanity, maybe just turn off your read receipts.